Well, Nick, Chris, congratulations. What a game, what a performance, what a comeback. How pleased were you with the way the team performed out there tonight?
Well, I think there were times in the game, especially as it got close to the end, we were really pleased. It was a bit of a rollercoaster game, that one. We didn't start very well at all. I think first quarter, as much as anything, both teams were poor, and then we were really poor in the second. Managed to sort of salvage it a bit at half time, so we had somewhere to go second half, and it was a good effort from the boys again second half.
I mean, the second time in a few days now, you guys have come back from being down by as many as 15 plus points in the game. What's been the secret over these last couple of games?
I think, as Nick said, really, when we turn it up and we know that we can play to a higher level than we did in the first half, when the guys get engaged, okay, and we really lock down, particularly on the defensive end, okay, we do a really good job of kind of limiting the other team in terms of how many points they score. And the guys did that, and Nick said to everyone in the change room afterwards how much heart they showed, and I think again the crowd kind of got behind us. And it just it's a little glimpse really of what we think that we can do between now and the end of the season, and then hopefully into the playoffs as well.
And again, even with a depleted squad tonight, just the way the team really came together, it's been so impressive over these last few weeks.
Yeah, it is. I mean, people raising their game again, but I thought the twins were fantastic tonight. Marcus particularly. Malcolm's had a couple of games where he's had quite extended minutes for us. Marcus really hasn't had a game where he's had a good run. I thought today, every time we put him in, he just raised the level of the team. His effort, rebounding, just getting up and down, getting hands in the way of all sorts of things. I thought that was crucial for us because we needed that spark off the bench, I think, a little bit. We lost it with Panos a little bit. We don't have that. We need somebody to come in sometimes and just shake it up a little bit. And I thought he particularly was excellent tonight.
And also, you talk about the team effort, but I mean, Adam Weary really led from the front tonight. And again, he just seems like he's really leading this team now in the absence of some key players.
Yeah, I think it's great for Adam. I think as the season's gone on, he's started to find his rhythm a little bit more. Obviously, before he came to us, he had some problems with injury, so he didn't really play much basketball over the 12 months before that. I think now he's got his kind of legs back underneath him. He's kind of figured out what the league's all about. And I think he showed it and he kind of really turned it on in the second half. I think, some of those guys themselves are disappointed in terms of how they played in the first half, and I think he was one of the guys that realised actually he needed to step it up, and I thought he did an excellent job down the stretch.
We did see Leslie Smith go down in that fourth quarter. I know he didn't play on Friday against Cheshire. What can you tell us about him after that fall?
Difficult. It's too early to say at the moment. He may well have been able to go in if he'd had to. I think at the end he was walking on it. But we'll just have to wait and see. It's never very good when you do the same one again like that. So we'll give it a couple of days and see.
Well, that result tonight gives you guys the head-to-head over Sheffield Sharks. You've had 2 wins over the Sharks whilst Andreas has been away. How crucial could that head-to-head result be in terms of the playoff seedings now going into this post-season run?
It's not going to mean a lot if we lose the 2 games at the weekend. In truth, I think we've got we talked about the 3 games, Sheffield, Worcester, and Surrey, who are the 3 teams above us. And if we get those 3 head-to-heads, then we should be able to, potentially we could come 5th. But that one's not going to count if we lose those 2 and then Sheffield go and win one somewhere. So we've got to keep going and try and keep the win streak going, keep the momentum going.
Well, just one more win now until you guys can confirm your playoff spot. You can still go through to the playoffs if Cheshire drop a game, but I'm sure you just want to go through on your own accord, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for me, it's not really us thinking about necessarily just securing that playoff spot. We need to be trying to get as high a position as possible in the league. And I think, as Nick said, these next 2 games are kind of crucial to that. We've got to take it one game at a time, but I think really we shouldn't almost be looking at the teams behind us. We need to be looking at the teams ahead of us and thinking, okay, we can make a run now between now and the end of the season and push up that table as high as we can.
Well, today marks the end of your run as acting head coach, and of course it's been a big team effort as you mentioned previously in the past with Chris really putting in a great job as well. 4-1 altogether, the only defeat coming at the hands of a last second 3-pointer against Cheshire Phoenix. I mean, what have you made as your time over these last few weeks?
One thing for sure I've enjoyed is working with Chris. I mean, I couldn't have done it without him. It's very much a team effort. I think we complement each other very well. Chris has got a very good eye for seeing things as much as anything else. And one of the things you need when you're coaching in a game and the timeouts come in, you want somebody who can just talk to you for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds and say, this is going wrong, or do this, or try this. And he's very, very good at doing that and just feeding me with all the right information so that we can try and keep the ship afloat. And in fact, we've probably got the ship cruising away at quite high speed at times, spluttering a bit in the first half. I'm stopping that analogy right now, and you can say what you thought about it, I think.
I mean, it's been great. I think one of the things that I always say to people is I think people don't necessarily appreciate actually how good a basketball coach Nick is and how important he is within those games. I think, you know, it's easy. Obviously, you see Andreas and he's quite lively. And for me, over the last few years, sitting on the bench and sitting next to Nick, you realise how much he knows about the game, how influential he is in terms of the game overall, and how important he is to that process. And I would say I think I've learned as much from Nick over those years as I have from Andreas, and it's been a great opportunity for me to kind of try and put some of that into practice. But also I think it's been great for Nick to have that opportunity to show what he can do. And you know, he's been a long servant of the club, has been there all along the way with Andreas. I know Andreas would be the first to say that he couldn't have done that without Nick. And ultimately, he knows that he's left it in good hands, and I think Nick's done an excellent job. And definitely, I'm certainly not surprised by how well it's gone over this period of time.